Hello, if you're watching the recording, I am waiting to let people into the workshop and we will get started. I am so excited. So, if you are watching the recording, I am so, like I said, excited for you. I'm excited to share this information. It's a really good jumping off point. It gives you a lot of actionable steps that you can go and just work with and do immediately. It's not like, oh, these are things I could have Googled, or oh, these are things that I already knew. This workshop is filled with things that are actually going to be useful to you. Let some people in. Hello, welcome. Hello, I'm so glad that you are here. Hey, all right. I'm going to wait another couple minutes to actually get started with the meat of all of this. But if you are new, never been to one of my workshops, you're not in the Facebook group, you were like new to the space, let me know in the chat. If you are somebody who's coming back, I probably recognize you, but let me know in the chat as well. There are definitely some names that I recognize from the Facebook group. I'm so excited that you're here. Yes, hello, new. Well, Kayla, I'm so excited you're here. I'm so excited that you decided to join us today. Sarah, yes, I recognize you from the Facebook group, girl. All right, so a little bit about me before we get into the stuff about me. Yes, I'm in my hoodie. You will usually see me doing lives, workshops. You'll see me doing anything on camera, basically, and I'm never dressed up. I'm just not. It's not my vibe. It's not how I was as a teacher. I would be as comfortable as possible. I do like to dress up. I do like to look nice, but I like to be comfortable. So, especially with being a virtual assistant, y'all probably know because a lot of you that are here are VAs currently. You're kind of getting your feet wet with it already. You have your business set up. You can work from anywhere. You can work from your couch. So comfy is great for me. I did do my makeup and my hair today though. So I did that for y'all. And yeah, so this is the vibe. All right. Let's see. Let's get into it. Let's just get started. So, how to get consistently booked as a virtual assistant in 2025. So, these are things that I currently use. These are, the steps, some of the things that I keep in mind for myself because I think that is so important. As a teacher, because I used to be a teacher, there'd be coaches that would come in and teach us new things about the curriculum or how to do, X, Y, and Z in the classroom. And I'd always be thinking in my head, this all sounds great on paper. It looks great in your presentation. But when is the last time you have been in the classroom? Like they're teaching these things to me, they're coaching me on it, but like, when's the last time you did this stuff? Right? That's always what went through my head. And you're in the right place if that is also something you've thought at work as well. Like, okay, you're teaching me how to do this, but when's the last time you did it? I do this right now. I still have virtual assistant clients that I work with daily. I have just taken on the role of coaching as well because I love teaching. I love helping others. It's in my blood to just want to pass on my knowledge to others. Another reason why I have this workshop. So I still do this stuff. It's not like I left that behind. It's not like I don't have clients. I have clients that I work with that I've worked with for over a year that stick around, love me. I love them. And these are things that I still continuously do to try to find more clients because that's the thing you'll learn about virtual assisting. It doesn't stop. It's not like you're like, okay, this is enough clients. Like, I'm good. You might think that for like a month or two until you start getting used to the new clients you have. But then after a little bit, you're like, all right, let's try to look for more. You should always be using these steps. You should always be marketing. You should always be talking about your business and never thinking like this is good enough because there's always that chance that a client of yours could run into an issue with their income, with their business. Anything can happen, and that impacts you and your business. And then you're scrambling to find a new client, right? So you always need to have that going. It should be something that you consistently do. So these are not things, the things I'm going to talk about in the workshop are not things that you should just do, one time and then like you're good. You should plan these in as routines to do monthly, bi-weekly, whatever feels good for you and whatever you think you need. If you're scrambling for clients, like you need the income bad, you might want to do these things like every other day. Okay, like brush up on these things, go through, do some of these actions that can be done more often, more consistently, do them a lot. If you're kind of just maintaining, which is great, but you just want to have, something in the background just in case, like a plan B sort of, I would do this, bi-weekly, maybe monthly, depends on where you're at. But all of that is to say, I do these things. These are things that I see as super helpful for me when I go to find clients or when I'm trying to add to my client list, So the coach, first, I am a virtual assistant. I just love helping other VAs, helping moms, helping women learn this freedom of being a virtual assistant, right? The flexibility and just the income that can come with it. Like sky's the limit. I love that. Something that really bothered me as a teacher is you had this pay scale and that was it. It was really hard to move up. You could do extra work, you could stay after hours and do like clubs and things like that for extra pay. But besides that, there was no way to make extra money unless you went back to school. Like there was no way to just add to your current income. There was no, you didn't get like a raise or anything because you did really good at your job. So that kind of bothered me. It was like, no matter how good I am at my job, I don't get a raise. So I love this about being a VA, that if you are really good at your job, you're really good at these steps that I'm going to share with you today about finding the clients and continuously having the clients, like retaining them, then you can build on your income and scale and grow. I love that. And I definitely know what it's like to have this overwhelm, this dread, this feeling of like, okay, I've been doing all the things that my course told me to do, my old coach told me to do, the internet's been telling me to do to find clients. I've been putting out all of these emails and cold DMs and, in the Facebook, like, what am I supposed to be doing to get these clients? I've been there. I had one client when I first started out. I got that client within a week of starting my business, which was amazing. And it's like lit me up. And I was like, yay, things are working. And then it was kind of like a plateau. I was not finding clients. And I was like, I need to make this work. My income needs to pick up. My husband makes good money, but we need two incomes. Like I can't just live off his income. Some VAs and VA coaches, I think sometimes maybe they have that luxury, they have that flexibility with their income. So if they're struggling a little bit, it's fine. I wasn't in that position and I'm still not. I'm not in that position of, oh, just worry about my husband's income. My income can be zero. No, we're not there. So I know what it's like to feel that overwhelming feeling. I was looking for a workshop like this or some kind of training that would tell me what I need to do, where I need to go, what are some steps to find clients, because I felt like what I was doing just wasn't working. I was working really hard at it. So I know what it's like. I've been there. What we're going to talk about today is 3 big shifts that are going to attract consistent, high paying clients, not the $5 clients. We don't want those. Discover where to find the best clients and avoid wasting your time on tasks that aren't going to make you money. Master how to stand out in a crowd without being burnt out with it. Because if you sound like everybody else, you're just going to blend in too much and no one is going to notice you enough to hire you. The secret to building long-term client relationships, because that is part of all of this. That is a part of the whole idea of being consistently booked. Because if you are losing clients month after month after month, and then having to replace them and replace them and replace them, That's not a good system. Something in there needs to change. Something needs to shift. So we want to keep the clients here, not just get clients, but keep them. And then I have an exclusive offer at the end if you stick around. So why aren't the clients showing up? That's what a lot of new VAs are telling me when I talk to them in the DMs, when I talk to them on Zoom calls. They're saying, I have my business set up. I set up my Instagram. I have my Facebook page set up. Why aren't the clients coming to me? What is happening? They're not just going to magically show up, though. That's the thing. So a lot of people are waiting for clients. They're like, I'm waiting for the DMs. I'm waiting for the emails to come. And that's just not how it works. Some people think that that's how it works. You just set up your business and then clients are searching for you and they Google and find you. The chances of that happening are very slim. Obviously, it can happen. Chances are slim. Other times they are relying on platforms like Fiverr and Upwork. If that is you, I would suggest you ease away from that. It's a nice thing to fall back on, especially if you have client, like you keep getting more clients from these sites. But the problem is they're not sustainable because they're so low in their payments. It's like $5, $10 an hour. I was on there recently within the last few months just to check things out, see what it was like, get a good idea of where some of my coaching clients are in their journey. Because, like I said before, like you get people coming in telling you how to do your job, and you're like, when's the last time you did it? I looked into it just to see what was going on those kind of platforms. And it's not worth it. It is not worth your time and it is not worth your effort because just using your time and energy in the wrong place. So your time and energy that you're setting up your profiles for these sites and you're looking for the jobs and you're applying and sending in everything, you're putting your energy in the wrong place. Also, another thing is maybe you have an Instagram, maybe you have a Facebook page. Great, great, very good. But you are inconsistently posting. You're posting, here and there whenever you can, whenever you get the inspiration, which is fine, but that could send the wrong message. If you're posting inconsistently and you haven't posted since before the holidays, like today is January 10th, and if you haven't posted since before Christmas, that can send the wrong message that maybe you gave up on your business, around Christmas time and you're not coming back. Because other people don't know. They don't know that. You could say you're out of office too in one of your posts, but then again, that doesn't show that you are available. No one is going to message you for job opportunities if the last thing you posted is you're out of office for now. So I would suggest that you post consistently as possible. Some mindset shifts that can help with all of these things is attracting clients is not a guessing game. There's a strategy behind it. There's things that I do consistently within my business to help attract clients to me. And building real relationships with others out there is your number one tool for consistent success. So your network is your net worth. The people that you surround yourself with, the relationships that you build, the conversations that you have, the organic, genuine conversations that you have, that is what is going to help build your business. Even if some of the conversations you're having aren't leading directly to sales, aren't leading directly to signups, a contract, whatever, they're still building on your success because then the people that you're having conversations with will learn what you are great at, what your thing is, what your services are, what your expertise is, and they know to refer you to others, which is great. That is why your network is your net worth. Keep that in mind. All right. So 3 shifts to consistently book some clients in 2025. Confidence and clarity is so important. And this has to do with your marketing. And this has to do with how you are perceived by others. Because if you are just putting out that you're a virtual assistant and that's what all of your profiles say, that isn't going to get anybody to sign with you. Not the high paying clients that you want. Because if you just put general virtual assistant, they are not going to see you as an expert. They're not going to see you as someone who has a lot of knowledge, a lot of capabilities. They're going to see you as somebody who can just click around and do the things that they don't feel like doing, which could lead to low paying. They'll say, oh, I can pay you like $10 an hour, $15 an hour, because you're just doing the things that I just don't want to do. But if you show that you have some expertise, some knowledge, and that you have specific services, so I help with the back end tasks, I'm a tech VA. That's a great term to use when you're talking about general admin services. Instead of saying that, I help with all of the back end tasks that you don't want to do, you could say that you are a tech VA because you help with those automations, you help with the tech behind everything, connecting everything together, those tasks that are tedious and take a long time. Instead of it just sounding like, I help with your email inbox. Like that doesn't sound like a service that I would pay high for, But if you're saying you're a tech VA, that sounds a little more high scale. Like that's a little bit better way to say that. So you have to put that out there in a way that people are going to perceive you as somebody who knows their shit and knows what they're doing. And that's what's going to set you apart. So an example of this for like your bio or whenever you put things out on a Facebook group or say what you do, you could say, I help coaches. So that's already narrowing it down. You're not talking to everyone, you're talking to coaches. I help coaches manage their client onboarding process. That's something that a lot of coaches probably struggle with because they're wanting to get lots of clients, but they need a streamlined way to do that. And social media DMs. They're always trying to get more people into their programs through DMs to free up time for growth. Coaches love growth. They just do. So that is a great way to say that. That is really going to set you apart. It says exactly some of the tasks that you help with and who you're helping. So an action that you can take right now, well, if you're watching the replay, do that. Those of you that are in the chat, I see you. This is something to do when you watch the replay back. You're going to want to write down your services and your ideal clients tonight. Do that later. Okay. So write down the services that you offer. And think of a way to really talk about that in a way that's going to be tangible for your ideal clients. Like what are they going to want to hear? What sounds good for them? But also what makes you sound like an expert. Okay. And write that stuff down. Like and dump it. Another thing is visibility. This is something that you need to strategically change to help with finding those clients is your visibility. Because if people don't know that your business exists, if they don't know that you exist, they're not going to hire you because they don't know you exist. So show up where your dream clients already are. I talk about this a lot in my new course, Booked and Busy. I'm talking about this a lot in there. Exactly which clients I would find where, how to look for them, keywords, what platform, all of that. But you need to think about Facebook groups, LinkedIn, Instagram. Of course, they're all great places to go, but each has its own set of ideal clients. Like you're going to find different people on those different platforms in different places. And you have to know where to look and which one is best for you to spend most of your time. And that is what is going to really set apart the time that you spend. Because a good example is one of my clients, I do lead generation for her. So I'm doing lead generation and engagement for her. Currently, I do it on Instagram. She helps women who are dealing with menopause or perimenopause, right before that happens, and dealing with the hormones that go along with it, but also just their general health. So she's dealing with people in that age range. And when I talked to her before we did onboarding, before we signed together, I told her, like, okay, TikTok is definitely not where you want to go. TikTok is not going to be where a lot of your menopausal women are hanging out at. You might get a good amount there, but not as many. Like my mom, she does not have a TikTok. Instagram could be more of a place for her to look. So that is why we're spending a lot of time and effort in Instagram right now. We also talked about Facebook and how Facebook can be a really good place to look. My mom doesn't really hang out on Instagram, but my mom loves Facebook. She is all about that. She is in it all the time. My mother-in-law, she is all in Facebook too. So that is where my clients, ideal clients, would be hanging out the most. We're going to shift gears soon and try a little bit more in Facebook than we have in Instagram. We started Instagram because that's more my jam. I'm a social media manager. I focus a lot on Instagram, but Facebook would probably be a better use of her time for her ideal clients. So that is what I'm talking about when certain clients and certain groups of people are more likely to hang out on different platforms, and you have to know where to look and how to find them. So what I would suggest you do after the workshop is engage in 3 new Facebook groups this week. So if you have 3 groups that you recently joined, then make sure you're doing something in those groups this week. So today's Friday, but next week I would suggest that you go through and really add some value to the group. Either make some new posts, introduce yourself. The introduction posts are so good. That is where you can really shine through. Tell them who you are, what you do, how you do it. That is a great place to start. But then also the comments. Look through posts that ask questions that you know the answer to that help with your business. Like it has to do with what you do. So if people are asking about email marketing and how to create a workflow, and that's something and that's something you offer for your virtual assistant business, answer their question. Don't say, hey, I'd love to help you on this. Don't do that. Answer their question, give value, give knowledge. That shows that you know your shit. So go through and engage. If you don't know Facebook groups, you can join. Like you're like, oh, I'd love to be in Facebook groups, but I don't really know. Tell me in the chat right now. Actually, tell me in the chat right now. Those of you that are here, tell me, are you in Facebook groups? Are you active? Or are you looking for groups? Are you struggling with finding them? Okay. Okay. So Sarah says, yeah, I am in Facebook groups, probably once a week. All right. It's not bad if it's like a routine that you do. And then Kayla, all right. Kayla says, help me. Help me. All right. So if you need help with finding Facebook groups, I have a Facebook group freebie that I can share with you. I'll drop it in the chat here in a minute. It is, let me pull it up. It is a spreadsheet that is full of 50 plus Facebook groups that could be really good to network in. So, get to know people, show your expertise, answer those questions in the comments, things like that. All right. All right, Kayla, that's for you. We'll go ahead and grab it. You do have to sign in. Like it's a freebie, but it's an opt-in. So you'll have to put everything in there. It'll send it to your email and you can check all of them out. I would definitely comb through. I have my top favorites at the top of the list. So definitely go check those out. All right. On to the third one. The third one is authentic outreach. Authentic, genuine people. Okay. We're not doing cold DMs. We're not doing desperate pitches. We're not saying like, hey, I noticed that you're a blah, blah, blah. Like I get so many cold DMs on my Instagram constantly, and it's so annoying. And some people are really trying to jazz it up and say, hey, oh my gosh, this is so awkward, but I just had to send you this message. And then they'll go in to do like a kind of awkward, confusing pitch of what they're offering. And it's like just not working. It never does. So just know that that is not the way to do it. So an example would be to comment on Instagram posts, reply to stories to build trust. So a story of mine, I have gained different clients this way, but a specific story is I was following different coaches on Instagram for my own business, like Instagram management, all of that. And I had followed a coach. And after I followed her, I was engaging in some of her content. I had only followed her for like a week, I think. And I was engaging in some of her content. And then I decided to engage with her stories. And one of her stories was like her doing her thing throughout the day. Like it's just here's where I'm at, like a little boomerang. And it was her walking outside. It was like a farm almost. And like the I just remember it just looking really nice. Like, oh, I wish I was walking there. And there was a cute dog next to her. And I was like, oh my gosh. And on the caption, it said something like, just me and Willow, like doing the things or something like that. Or Willow being crazy, something. Because that's her dog's name. And I was like, oh my gosh, your dog, she is so cute. And she said, oh, thank you so much. Like she responded back and she was like, oh, thank you so much. She's so wild. She's crazy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I get that. My dog's crazy too. And we started talking about our dogs in the DMs. And then a week later, I posted about a strategy call that I offer for Instagram. She wanted a strategy call. She booked one. So that is how easy it could be. That's how easy it could be. I followed her, engaged a little bit, and then had a genuine conversation in the DMs just about her dog. That was it. I didn't make it anything about business because the right people, the right clients will find me. They need to know I exist, so I need to put that out there, like saying something nice about her dog. But if they are for me, if they are ready for my services, they'll find me. I just have to promote and I have to let them know that I exist. That's all. So it can be that easy. An actionable step that you can do today, tomorrow, next week, whatever. Reach out to 3 potential clients today if you're up for it using genuine engagement. So just like with the story that I just said, use genuine engagement. You can start just by following and then liking, maybe a little comment. And then after you do that, engage in their stories. Do something really deep, something that you know is going to connect with them. Like I know from personal experience, people who have dogs love it when you talk about their dogs. They love it when you talk about their dogs. So that's where I was going with that. I genuinely thought that her dog was so cute and like wanted to say something about it. But I know when there's a dog in a lot of the content because the owner loves their dog, if I say something nice about their dog, they're going to like that. They're going to respond well because that's how I would be, right? So that's something you have to keep in mind when you're making a genuine comment. What are they going to really respond well to? So go do that. All right. And then this kind of goes along with that. How to stand out in a crowded market. It's not really crowded, but you want to be able to stand out amongst all the other VAs. You don't want to blend into the crowd and someone say, oh, it's just another VA. You want someone to say, she's a VA and I want her. I like her. And a way you can do that is, like I said earlier, your bio. Your bio should be very concise, yes, but also specific. So this bio might be a little too long for Instagram, actually. As I was writing this out, I'm like, yeah, there's a lot here, but I know Instagram, I know, bio optimization. This is probably too many words because you can have 150 characters. This seems like a little bit too much, but we can always make this more concise. This is the vibe that I'm going for here, though, is I help health and wellness coaches. So there you go. You're saying exactly who you help, health and wellness coaches. So anybody that has to do with fitness, nutrition, maybe even mental health, things like that, coaches. Organize client onboarding. So we're talking about onboarding again because coaches need help with that. Manage their inboxes and create consistent social media content. Okay. 3 different things, but 3 things that they could be struggling with. Why do you help them with that? So they can spend more time transforming lives and less time buried in admin work. That is a strong statement because you're telling them exactly who and what you do, like who you help, what you do, and then you're telling them why it's a benefit to them. They can transform more lives. Health and wellness coaches, that's what they strive to do. Transform lives. They want to make people's lives better. So that would really hit home for somebody. So that could be something that you put in your portfolio. That could be a statement on your portfolio. And if you need help with your portfolio, that's in the VA starter kit. So that's just something to keep in mind with. If you don't have a strong portfolio, which goes along with gaining clients, you need to work on that. So DM me if you need help with portfolio work. So something you can do is post portfolio highlights and success stories regularly. Show people that you are helping others currently, what you've done in the past or are currently doing, and show them highlights of what you're able to do. You're showing that you can do the work, not just talking about it. If you're on LinkedIn, here are some things that you can do too, is use keywords like virtual assistant, admin support, social media manager. These are very basic words, but they're keywords. They will be helpful for searchability. So you'll want to have those somewhere in your profile, and it will help for clients find you. Keep your profile clean, professional, and to the point, and make sure for LinkedIn you're putting that you are open for work. So there's a thing where you can toggle that on, and it will have like a little banner around your profile picture, and it's really cute. It'll say like open for work. So make sure you have that turned on. And then we're almost through. We're getting there. So finding the right clients without wasting time, where to look, we talked about this already, is Facebook groups. Make sure you're adding value, answering those questions, sharing tips without pitching. Don't just pitch immediately in the comments and say, I can help you with this, or I'm a VA, I would love to help you. No, do not do that. You want to add value, show them that you know things, and show them that you're willing to help them with the knowledge, help them with the info. A lot of the time, people will hire a virtual assistant not because they don't know how to do something. They will hire a virtual assistant because they're tired of doing it. So if you tell them how to do something, that doesn't mean like they're not going to hire you now. That means that they're probably going to take your information, take what you told them, your advice, go do it themselves, and then maybe in like a month or so, they're going to say, "Oh, I don't feel like doing this myself anymore. I don't want to do this." And then they're going to come back to you and say, "Hey, I remember you gave me this advice. I've been doing it. It's been super helpful, but I need help now." And then they're going to hire you to do the task instead. So don't worry about giving away information in the comments. Your information is helpful for you, helpful for others. Others will see that you are an expert. And what you can do on Instagram is engage with your clients, your ideal clients, in the stories and comments, kind of like the whole story situation that I told you with the dog. Do things like that. LinkedIn, you're going to search for different hashtags like virtual assistant needed or hiring a VA for different opportunities. Okay. LinkedIn is not where I hang out a lot. I'm going to start. It's just not been where I think a lot of my ideal clients have been. I'm going to start using it a little bit more. So if you need more LinkedIn help, I will have that for you soon. Avoid scams. Please avoid scams. If you are just starting out trying to find clients and find work, like you recently set up your business and you're looking for work now, please, please avoid scams and be aware. If there's anything that says work for exposure, or the job description is really vague, or they'll say, "Oh, I need the PDF turned into a Word document, or a Word document turned into a PDF." I've seen those a lot. Those are immediate scams. You know why? Because that is easy stuff. That is super easy, and no one is going to pay you $50 an hour to do that. I'm sorry. I said it. I'm sorry. But if it seems like really easy work and someone's like, I'm going to pay you $100 an hour. No, they're not. I've gotten messages in my DMs before from realtors that have said, hi, I'd really like your help. I need help with, and they said like putting up the postings like on Zillow and things like that. And they said it would be like 2.5 hours a month. And I would be willing to pay you $500 a month. If you do the math on that, that is way over $200 an hour. And I'm like, there's no way you're going to pay me $200 an hour to just upload things into Zillow. I've never done that, but I'm sure it's easy enough. There's no way that someone would pay me that much. And it was a scam because I've gotten multiple messages like that, same exact wording, almost copy paste from different accounts. And so when you start seeing things like that, you know they're scams. So please be aware of different things like that. Just use your best judgment. And then some overall red flags for clients. So these could be actual job opportunities, real business owners, but they may not be the best fit if they have poor communication. So they're not getting back to you very well. They're not getting back to you very quickly, especially in that process of trying to get on a discovery call, sign a contract, things like that. If they're kind of struggling with that, that could be a red flag that they just aren't very good with communication. Because if they're really needing help, they're going to have you top of mind right now. And if they're not communicating well, that means they got other things going on. Disrespect for boundaries. So if they're not respecting your boundaries of your work time or when you're available to get on a discovery call or when you're available to meet to chat, things like that, or when you're available to get work done, if they're expecting a quick turnover right away, that could mean that they are just not a good fit for you and you should work on getting out of that. And then again, unrealistic expectations. And then a huge red flag for me is it's more of like a scam red flag. It's not so much not a good client fit. This is an immediate scam. If they don't want a discovery call, if they don't want a Zoom call, a Google Meet call, a call where you are talking face to face on camera, it's a scam. No one is going to hire you for decent pay that doesn't want to meet you, especially if you're going to be in their business. And that's when you get the higher paying clients, is when you're in their business, you have some of the, information, like a Google Doc of information about their business, of maybe even a password or two, because you're in their programs doing things for them. They're going to pay more money because they want someone that they can trust. And they're not going to want like just some Joe Schmo off the street. So since they need to trust you, you're going to want to have a call with you. So be aware of that. If there's no discovery call and they're just like, let's chat on Telegram, don't do that. And then the last piece to all of this is building long-term relationships. So you need to keep clients around. I have had clients that I've worked with for over a year. We're coming up on a year and a half of working together. So this is really important because retention matters, because you spend less time hunting for new clients. It's no longer a revolving door of trying to find clients and then onboarding them, doing a little bit of work, and then they leave. And then you have to find a new client and do it all over again. We don't want that cycle. So it's less time spent hunting for new clients because you're keeping them. It also allows you to increase rates with your trusted clients. Once you're in with a client for a while, they see that you can do great work for them, they trust you, and they know that you are valuable because you've learned the ins and outs of their business. So now they don't have to teach you those things anymore. You just know it and you do it. You can start raising your rates with them because they're like, I don't want to teach somebody else and I like her, so I'm going to keep her around. So yes, I will pay more for her. And how do you do this? You set clear expectations up front. So when you do your contract, you want to have deliverables if possible, and you want to have deadlines if possible, and you want to have communication preferences. How are you going to communicate with one another? And you want to anticipate their needs and offer proactive solutions. So what that means is like, you need to, when you get used to their business, when you start to get used to the tasks that you're doing, you need to kind of see what they might need next, or what might need be the next step, or how you can expand on what you're currently doing. Not expand in the tasks that you're delivering, not expand in your deliverables, because that would be going out of your scope. That would mean a second service is needed, an addendum to the contract, all kinds of things. But we're just talking about taking a little less off of their mental load to get this task done. Offer proactive solutions from that point. So an example of this is I have a client that I've been working with for quite a long time, and she sends me dates through a PDF that she creates. And these are dates of upcoming Facebook events that she would like made, because they're different workshops, they're Zoom calls that she has, they're office hours. And she needs the Facebook events made so that it can be posted in her Facebook groups and more people know about it. And she sends me this about halfway through the month for the following month, so that I can start getting them together and posted. Well, I've gotten to the point where most of the time I will ask her for those now. At the beginning, she was sending them to me and saying, hey, can you do this for me? Here's another task, yada, yada. But now I know to be aware of those things. And if she doesn't send them to me, I ask for them. I say, hey, can you send me the PDF? I really need to start making those Facebook groups. Things like that. Just being on top of it so that your client knows that you're reliable and you know what needs to get done, so things aren't going to fall off. So, you're not only doing the tasks that are given to you, you're keeping up on tasks that you currently, like reoccurringly, routinely do, so that you can keep everything streamlined. And that is what's going to help keep your client happy and have them see you as somebody who's valuable. And also, you just want to check in regularly. Helps maintain that trust and that satisfaction. So just check in, see how everything's going, personally and professionally, and just see, have a check-in meeting, something like that, a Zoom meeting every couple of months, just to kind of check in with them, see how they're doing, what can be done to take a little bit more off their plate, things like that. That really helps with client retention and keeping them happy. So if through all of this that I've talked about today, you're like, okay, these sound great, I love the actionable steps, but I want to know more about how you actually do some of these things, what it looks like to have strong client communication. How do you do that? Do you do it through email? What does that look like? If you're wondering how some of these tasks are actually done, what the nitty-gritty details are, then Booked and Busy, my new course that I'm so excited about, is your new step. And it's your next step. I am so excited for this, because this is the exact course that I wish I had when I was in this position. So when I talked about earlier, when I got my first client, I was super stoked. I was happy. I was ready to go. And then it was like crickets, and it plateaued, and I couldn't find any clients for a month and a half. I was struggling, and I didn't know where to look, and I didn't know what to do. I needed this. This is exactly what I needed, and that's why I made it. That's why I made Booked and Busy, because it is exactly what past me needed in that moment in time. If I had found this, I would have hopped on it immediately. I would have purchased it, bought it, dove right in. And you guys are so lucky, because this is launching within the next couple weeks. So it hasn't actually started yet, but it's going to. And I am making a lot of the course content for it right now as we speak. So if you have anything else that you're struggling with, put it in the chat. Anything else that you're having questions about, put it in the chat. And I can add that into the course content, because it is being molded as we speak. I'm still building it out. I have everything in set that I know I would have loved at this point, and that I know I need to talk about to you, and I know I need to teach to you. But if there's anything else, I would love to know, so that I can add it in there as well. So it's full of actionable steps, just like this workshop. I give you a little piece, and then I tell you what you should go and do. So it's not just me talking at you, it is me giving you some strategies and then telling you how to do those strategies, what I would suggest, what you should go do. There's also going to be 2 Q&A sessions throughout all of this. So one kind of in the middle and one at the end after all of the lessons have been uploaded, so that you can let me know how things are going throughout the course. And then at the end, let me know where we're at, what kind of growth we've seen, what kind of clients you've gotten. But you'll also be able to share all of those wonderful things with me and the questions you have in the community, because there's an exclusive community that comes with this that you will be able to join. It's not on Facebook, it is on Slack, which I love. So you'll be added into the community. You'll get blueprint, step-by-step guides. It's not just overall ideas. I'm taking a lot of the things from this workshop and going deep with it. So if a lot of this stuff was helpful, but you just want more information, you need more details, you need more steps, Booked and Busy is where you'll get that. And why it works is because there is absolutely no fluff. You'll notice in here, there was absolutely no fluff in this workshop. There was nothing where it was like, oh, Carly, I knew that. Oh, Carly, I already researched that. Like, I already Googled that. There's nothing like that. There's nothing that's going to waste your time. I'm only going to give you information that I know is going to help and I know is going to keep you on the right track. And there's no gatekeeping. Like I said, I am currently in this with you. I do these things all the time for my own business. So these are not things that I'm like, just giving to you to kind of keep you around. These are things that I am giving to you because I want to see you succeed. Because I know I hated it when I was in that position of not finding clients. So these are all steps that I wish I knew back then that I ended up learning along the way. And if you get in on it within the next couple of days and you sign up, then you will be a part of the bonus, like exclusive coaching call, where it's just going to be people that jumped in on the pre-sale, chatting with me, and we're going to be on a 1-hour call where we can just get into anything that is really a current struggle that you want to talk about. So it's an exclusive call. And if you are on the call right now, or if you're watching the replay within a couple of days, it is $88. Okay? But tomorrow, Saturday the 11th, is going to go up to $111. That's the ordinary price right now, it is at $111. But for anybody on the call and that is watching the replay within 24 hours, it's $88. And the cool thing about this is there's payment plans with Booked and Busy. So it is, got the Klarna, Afterpay, those kind of options. So if money's tight right now, you can literally get it for $22. If you think about it, even if you bought it for $111, your first client would be paying you more than $111 for a month's worth of work. So you would get paid back the investment so quickly once you signed your first client. Because another thing that I would tell you, don't get paid after the fact, get paid as soon as they sign. They need to pay you upfront. So if you gain a client immediately after watching some of the lessons in Booked and Busy, then you will make your investment back times like 3. And you want to get in on it before it jumps up again. All right, so now we are on to the Q&A. Before I open it up for Q&A, these are some of your final steps. And also make sure you get the link. I will post, yes, I see people asking for the Booked and Busy link. I will post that in the chat right now. And make sure if you have any questions after this, if you're watching the replay, email me, DM me on Instagram. It's down here. Make sure you join the Facebook group if you're not in it already. It's got great things in there like job opportunities that I post. Ayla, I see you. I'm getting you the link right now. Okay. The link is there. Go ahead. You can sign up right now. The checkout should be ready for Booked and Busy. Like I said, we start in a couple weeks. I am so excited to start. And I'm so excited for our exclusive coaching call. Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to open up for Q&A. and stop the recording.